when doing a clinic, what, in your opinion, is the most important thing to convey to the people that come?
That's a tough question to answer because it depends on the type of clinic it is. If it's a full-on drum clinic, if it's a master class, if it's a drum performance at a festival or something. Like, let's say, for example, if I'm because to be honest with you, for this, I still don't even know how long I'm playing. I don't know what they want me to do. There was no schedule until like yesterday. So if I'm on like a clinic tour, like in stores or something, like let's say I'm doing a 4 or 5 date run in the States or something like that, or over here, whatever, I have a plan. I have like I work it out at home. I know what I'm going to do. I'll come out, I'll play like 25 minutes. I'll play like 4 or 5 songs, do a small solo or something. And I usually ask the crowd if they have any questions. If they have questions, then I address some of the questions. If they don't, then I go, really? Like, you all came and nobody has a question? And I'll be like, could be as stupid as, what did I eat for breakfast this morning? Just, I want some kind of interaction with people. Because if I don't get that interaction, then I'm like, okay, now what? Because then I'm just like, all right, well, I'm just going to play then, and maybe between songs, someone wants to raise their hand, I'll talk. But if it comes to a point where nobody's interjecting, then I'm just going to keep playing. And I'll just treat it as like a mini concert kind of. But for me, the things that I like to convey with a clinic is playing for the song and having fun at playing drums and not making it a competition. Not worried about who plays the fastest or how busy you can do this or whatnot. And the importance of being able to play other styles of music. I'm known for playing heavy metal. I'm a double bass drummer. That's what I'm known for. That's what I do best. That's great. I'm not knocking that. But in my clinic, I play different kinds of music that I've done over the years with different types of bands to show the versatility level. And it's not that I'm going to go up there and play jazz like Steve Smith does. But the point is that if you have the basics of other styles of music, it makes you a more well-rounded player. And it doesn't pigeonhole you as just being the rock guy. And that's the biggest thing that I like that people take away from my clinics is I think that they see the other sides of my playing and they go, oh, we just thought that you did this. I'm like, well, I don't. In Flotsam and Jetsam and in Before in Shadows Fall, yeah, that is what I did because that's what the music called for. But if it's the same thing on a different end of the spectrum. If you're a jazz drummer, you shouldn't be playing blast beats because they don't belong in a jazz song. For the most part. It's playing for your situation and being able to have fun while you're doing it and not being so worried about, oh, I can't play like this drummer or I can't play like that drummer. As long as you can play like you, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. Well, we actually know at least one drummer in Poland, a jazz drummer, who practices blast beats just for the heck of it.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with that, and that's a great thing, and that's my point. That's my point behind it, because I've been told that numerous times at my clinics. When I've done more double bass intensive clinics, like when it's been centered around that or whatnot, I've had people come up to me, I don't play double bass, but I found what you did really interesting, and now I want to go learn. Okay, that's awesome. But the one thing that I always talk about when it comes to double bass is that if your first foot is not together, then you have no business trying to train your other foot, whether you're a right-handed drummer or a lefty drummer. Whatever your main bass drum foot is, if that one isn't together first, then you shouldn't be playing double bass. You need to know the fundamentals of playing drums with just a kick drum, a hi-hat, and being able to use the hi-hat pedal. Too many young drummers nowadays just keep their foot on the hi-hat, or they don't even have their foot on the hi-hat. It's one of the things when one of my students, my pet peeve, I'm always saying, keep your foot on the hi-hat. Just keep that hi-hat engaged. Don't leave your foot just being there dead. That foot needs to work. And if eventually you're gonna move to playing double bass, well, if you're already keeping time with the hi-hat, guess what you're already gonna be able to do? You're already gonna be able to use your left foot, or your right foot if you're a lefty, to be able to play that other bass drum pedal.
That's true. Are you going to use the exact same set tomorrow as you're using tonight?
As far as I know, unless they tell me differently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. ask is about your equipment for tonight and tomorrow. What's the gear you'll be using?
I'm finally back on Pearl drums after 4.5 weeks of having to play a loaner kit that was not Pearl drums. I find it funny, and this I'm not knocking other brands, I'm not knocking the brand that I used to play, but that's what I played for the last 4.5 weeks because that's what the kit for the tour was, and that was what I had to deal with. But I find it funny that when I moved to the Pearl family 3.5 years ago, when I used to come over to Europe with Shadows Fall years ago, a lot of the times, especially on one-offs and festivals, I would get stuck with a Pearl loaner kit. What the hell, I'm a Tama player. And I'd get stuck with a Pearl kit. Now I go to Pearl, now I come over and I get a Tama kit. I'm like, what's going on in the drum universe here? This is like weird. I go to the right company now, and now I'm getting a different company. So it's just one of those things where, and they understand, you know, I had no call in that. But it's just nice to get back playing the stuff that I'm comfortable with, and the stuff that I like. So today's kit is a Reference Pure kit. It's a natural maple kit. It's just plain and simple, but it looks really nice. I mean, that's not the type of kit that I would pick personally, like finish-wise, but it's a beautiful kit. 10, 12, 14, 16, 222s. However, I'm only running a double pedal today instead of 2 bass drums, only because I don't have 2 single pedals with me. I had to use a double pedal for the European tour, so that was what we were going to be doing for the tour. We're only going to be using 1 bass drum, double pedal. So that's what I was prepared to use. That's what I've been using for the last 4.5 weeks. When I'm on the US tour next month, I'll be using my new Music City Custom Reference Pure kit with both bass drums going, both single pedals. But for today and for tomorrow, we'll have my trusty DW 9000 double pedal back there, and fronted by all my beautiful Zildjian cymbals. I got to rep the company that makes the greatest cymbals in the world.
What are the models then?
Today we have up from the left to right, there's a 21-inch A Custom Mega Bell ride. There's a 17K China, 17A Thin Crash, which normally is a 17 projection crash on my normal kit. An 8-inch K Splash, normally I run 8 and 10 Ks. A 17-inch projection crash, which is normally an 18 projection crash. An 18 China, which is an 18 Oriental. 20-inch K Heavy Ride. 13 A Custom Master Sound hats on the X hat. 14 A Custom Master Sounds on the regular hat. And 19K Dark Thin Crashes in the back. So most of those are the same cymbals that I would use, except for my main ride is my 21-inch Z3 Custom Mega Bell ride. It's a regular Mega Bell, but the finish, the cymbal itself is laid down to half the thickness of a regular Mega Bell. And as I said, I usually use the 18 instead of 17 and 17 over here. But sometimes when you get loaner cymbals, you get close to what you normally use.
What skins do you like to put?
Remo Ambassador. Well, Remo Emperors on the tops, Clear Ambassadors on the bottom, Clear Emperors on the tops, Clear Ambassadors on the bottom, Power Stroke 3 on the kick, and a CS reverse dot on the snare drum.
Right. Sticks. Still your signature.
Still my ProMark Signature Series 5BX. Yep. That's been a staple since 2004. The Remos have been steady since 2007, and with Zildjian since 2011 and Pearl since 2013.